Good morning, gardening friends. Today is Sunday, January 5th. It's the 12th day of Christmas. I've got most of my Christmas things put up except for a couple of pillows and my two Christmas trees. Got a little bit of a tickle in my throat. You can see I did put up my bird cage and I repotted my staghorn fern and hung it in that corner. It looks fabulous. It will live where the pitcher plant is now when I put the pitcher plant outside again. Probably in the spring. We're gearing up for some really cold weather. We have, I think it's Tuesday night, we start to get down into the high 20s. And it's going to be like that for 3 or 4 days in a row, which means it's a hard freeze. So I've been busy putting up most of my plants outside and bringing in my important pots. I bought a lot of these various pots through the years, and my sources have dried up because the places went out of business. So if they break, I can't replace them. There you can see the Christmas tree is still up, but mostly everything else is no longer Christmassy in the house. You can see the amaryllis is just about ready to bloom on that side. I have to water everything today. I see the coleus will let you know when it needs to be watered. It'll start to wilt like that one over there. See anything else in here? African violet is still in bloom. Let's go for a walk. Miss Mimi is sleeping in bed. It's 60 out now. It's not terrible. Oh my goodness. The grass is still looking nice and green. Potager. Not much change has occurred yet. It will occur later this week. I did not yet cover over my plants outside. There are like 3 that I'm going to protect. We did take all of the bananas down this week, except for this clump here. The reason being is this is a protected location. This is the south side of the house in that little corner. And the bananas may survive, some of them, through the hard freeze. But in the meantime, they're helping to protect some of the plants around them. So I left them rather than cutting them to the ground. I'm not terribly worried about the plants. My garden has been around now for 30 years, so it's seen many hard frosts. May lose some of the flowers, but the plants themselves will still do fine. The azaleas are still looking good. May lose some of the camellia buds. We'll just have to wait and see. It is what it is. Or it will be what it will be. The cassia will definitely be a goner. It'll be cut to the ground, but I left it a little bit longer. Here I did cut the bananas down at the street. So there is a hole now where the bananas used to be. They were right here. But you can see the winter rye even looks good out by the street. Oh, I see some twigs have fallen on the sidewalk. Pansies are still putting out flowers here and there. They'll last through the cold. I remember when I lived in Texas and gardened in pots on a deck, on a balcony, I had pansies that were frozen solid and they thawed out and even the flowers looked good. This Australian tree fern will be, I'm not certain if I'm going to prune back the lower branches or not, but I'm definitely going to strap up the leaves, and then I'm going to wrap the trunk in probably my little football blanket. White doves is still in bloom. Not all over, but it's still in bloom. We did plant the first batch of paper whites that bloomed inside. That's my paper white alley. Still have a pink camellia coming out there. And in here. The bad thing about the frost this week is going to be it's after a rain. And so what I'll have to do, in fact it's sprinkling a little now, I'll go around with a stick and poke it in my pots near the sides all the way to the base of the pots, so that way it might give some room for expansion in the pots that are left out. We did trim back the satsuma, took it off the top of the camellia, and picked most of the fruit from that satsuma. This satsuma has left to be picked. Once when the hard frost comes, the satsumas will be good for a week or so, or a couple of weeks after. The beauty of the satsumas is they separate from the skin, so the skin can freeze fully, and it'll be fine. Let's go inside. I've got the heat on in here today. You can see I brought in all my plants. I've got plants every which way. And there's my little heater. Let me turn the light on. Oh, wrong light. There we go. The nun's orchid is looking good. I'll probably bring it in the front porch when it actually blooms. But you can see I brought in my ginger lilies, everything that was tropical, really. Now the only problem is going to be I have to water all this. And I brought in my banana. It was in a small enough pot. Pansies are looking good. Ooh, it's raining a little harder. Camellia is still looking nice. Everything here is looking green. Unfortunately, I've got a feeling I'll probably lose the top of my Canary Island date palm. Tune in next week to see. But it will come back. Uh-oh. Some animal must have been up there climbing and broke that branch. I will have to get rid of it. But it'll probably protect some from the frost. Leave it for now. That happened last night. Now you really see the red of the nandinas. That is not from an animal, that was just some extra potting soil I filled some holes with. I have to decide if I want any cuttings in the next couple of days from these angel's trumpets. I probably will take some cuttings. It's better to have them and not use them than to lose the angel trumpets altogether. These pots I'll have to poke holes in the corners. I have lost flakes off the sides of them. But yeah, I probably will take some cuttings from each color angel's trumpet and root them, just in case some of these don't come back. Typically they do, but what we have to worry about is a hard frost for multiple days, and that's what we're getting. We're anticipating like 3 nights in a row of a hard frost and then just a light frost after that. I don't do anything to my cycads. They'll probably be damaged. It's not the end of the world. They'll come back. Not much left on the deck to look at. All of the pots are pretty much in. I wound up taking the paper whites out from the front porch and putting them here. I will be bringing the cyclamen in the kitchen. And this is the last of the plants outside that I'm going to bring in. It's a, oh, I forgot now. Angel's hair fern? Can't think of the name of it, but it died back for me and it's coming back, so I will save it. And my stock has started blooming again. Oh, the cats were hungry. All the cats were here this morning and they finished their food. That's why I have the umbrella up, because I had 5 cats eating and it was sprinkling, so I wanted to save the food from getting wet as well as the cats. It won't hurt the cats. They're feral anyway, they're used to it. But that's about it for the day. Oh, the bananas here are gone, you can see. Cut to the ground. Getting ready for another year. It is a totally different view looking out this way now without the banana trees there. But there you have it for the day. I hope you all get to get out in your gardens and enjoy them. Although it's kind of cold to do that this week. And cold is on its way for us here in Mobile. Many of you all have already had some hard frosts. So it's just part of the fun of gardening. You never know. So until next week, take care.